Hello, welcome to Krafting Kitty. My name is Erin, and it's Friday! Yay! So that means it is time for Fridays with Fred! Yay! Much applause and celebration! So this is my segment, I guess we'll call it. I don't know. We're working through this book. It is the official knitting patterns of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. It's called Knitting the Neighborhood. You purchase this many locations. I will have the link to the Amazon listing down below. I bought it from VogueKnitting.com. Look for it on sale. I'm sure you'll find it many places, including perhaps your local library. So if you are interested in checking it out, please do so. When I first got this book, we voted on what my first project should be from it. And we picked the Beginnings Cardigan by Carla Patrick. The entire book is by an editorial board. Each pattern is by a designer. So there we go. We have a model and Mr. Rogers himself wearing it. And if you read the intro, it confirms that Mr. Rogers' mother hand knit the sweaters he wore in the show. So that's kind of cool. We're pushing forward the legacy. Big news, guys. Big news. We have a back panel. I have completed the back panel. It is bound off and ready to wait for assembly. So this stitch marker, this sad little white stitch marker, is where I ended last time. And that's everything I did. I mean, once the rows start getting shorter and shorter, you just zip through. So, but it's curling horribly, so it's hard to see. Anyway, that is what happens with stockinette. It's the nature of the purl on the back. It wants to curl in. Once it gets sewn together, it'll be just fine. So, finished the back panel. Have begun work on, I believe this is the right front panel, but it could be the left front panel. I don't know. So I did put my stitch marker in to mark where I ended for this showing. And, ooh, Joanne's just sent a text. Indoor and outdoor decor, 50 to 60% off, if you're interested. I did not see anything about yarn in that, blurb of a text. But yeah, so we're working it's the same 2x2 rib, and do that for a certain length, and then move on to stockinette and shaping. So it's basically just a smaller version of the back panel, but of course being less than half the stitches. I'm pretty sure it's less than half the stitches. Maybe it's around half the stitches. No, because it's close, but it's smaller. Should go quicker. We like that. Okay, so that is where I'm at. We are moving forward, and Brian is really liking it, so that's always a plus. If anybody would like to join me in the adventure, please feel free to do so. This, I do think, is an easier beginner cardigan. You don't have to pick up any stitches anywhere in the pattern. Even the collar is sewn on at the end. So it's all separate, sewn together. The probably most difficult part will be installing the zipper. There are instructions at the back of the book on how you could adapt the patterns if you wanted a button closure. Of course, if you wanted no closure, you could just look at the instructions for the buttonhole closures and omit the holes. But I've totally lost my train of thought because I was trying to think of a better word than a hole, so I couldn't think of one. Yeah. Oh, the yarn. I am using Hayfield Bonus Aran Tweed. They are gigantic 400-gram balls. I got them from the Wool Warehouse over in the UK. I believe when I purchased them, they were £11.99, so 11 pounds and 99, I believe it's pence. And I think it's a lovely yarn to work with. It's got a bit of a tonality to it. I adore flecked yarn, so it's a near perfect yarn in my opinion. The worst part is when I got to about 2/3 of the ball used, it started to collapse on itself and I had a bunch of yarn barf. But I can handle that for a yarn this good. Oh, tools I'm using. I am using my ChowGoo interchangeable needle set that Brian got me for Christmas. It's this one, the red one. I prefer 5.5-inch tips, so that is what Brian got for me. And it is, I believe, using the US 7. Yep, US 7. I forget which length of cable I'm on, but I don't know. And the writing's so small, I don't feel like trying to read it right now. Okay, but that is all I have for the update today. I will keep you posted on my progress and how things go next week. Thank you, everybody. And tonight, Brian and I will try to be on with a poor decisions well, it was probably a good decision, but although he might be regretting it right now. Brian had to have a root canal yesterday. So it's a banner week over here. We got sick kiddos, we got root canals, we got everything. Come party with us. But he is feeling okay. So I can't foresee anything, but if you don't see us, it's probably feeling a little bit under the weather and just not going to do anything tonight. But remember, on the final Friday of the month, we do try to go live. So next week, the 26th of May, would be our Poor Decisions Live. So please try to catch us then, and we will do our best to be there with bells on. Okay, see you later. Bye-bye.